of March, and today's the first official day of spring here in the Northern Hemisphere, here in Middle Tennessee. And I am having my Bible reading this morning here, and I'm in the book of 2 Samuel here. I'll show you real quick, viewers. Book of 2 Samuel here. This is in my Bible reading here. And the context is while I'm reading, this was after David's affair with Bathsheba, after he how can I put this cleanly? I just have to say, after he had adultery with her, he committed adultery with her. Then had her husband killed in battle and took Bathsheba to be his wife. Then he was confronted by the prophet Nathan, who told him that evil would never depart from his house. That was a consequence for his sin. God forgave David's sin, but that he would not die, because according to the law, he was to be put to death, adulterers and adulteresses, according to God's law there. But evil would never depart from his house. And here we are, already seeing it take place. Let me look at my camera here. Okay. So you can see out here, yeah. It's such a pretty day here. Yeah, it's very nice. But anyway, so God forgave David's sin because, like I said, according to the law, he was supposed to be put to death, both adulterer and adulteress. But God put away his sin; he would not die. But the consequences for his sin definitely were playing out. So here we got one of David's sons here. Maybe I start at the beginning here again. This is chapter 13 of 2 Samuel here. And it came to pass after this that Absalom, the son of David, had a fair sister, whose name was Tamar. And Amnon, the son of David, loved her. So this was one of the sons of David. In fact, Amnon was the firstborn of David's sons, when he had sons that were born to him in Hebron when he was first anointed king over Judah. We have to go back to, let's see here. First Samuel. This is from David. This was after the death of Saul here. Second Samuel here. Okay. This was after Saul was dead. See, you have to go back to chapter 3 here. actually chapter 2, when David was made king over Judah. This was after the death of Saul here. So if we go to chapter 3, this is in the book of 2 Samuel. It names the sons that were born to David here. That's what we're talking about right now, the sons of David. This is chapter 3, verse 2 in the book of 2 Samuel. Says, and unto David were sons born in Hebron. And his firstborn was Amnon. So we're reading about Amnon there in the text today. Of Ahinoam the Jezreelitess. And the second, Kaliab of Abigail, the wife of Nabal the Carmelite. And the third, Absalom, the son of Maacah, the daughter of Talmai, king of Geshur. And the fourth, Adonijah, the son of Haggith. And the fifth, Shephatiah, the son of Abitol. And the sixth, Ithream, by Eglah, David's wife. These were born to David in Hebron. So David had 6 sons that were born to him when he was in Hebron, reigning as king over Judah only. So here we go. So this kind of sets up what we're talking about. So let's start from the beginning again. And it came to pass after this that Absalom, the son of David, had a fair sister, whose name was Tamar, and Amnon, the son of David, loved her. And Amnon was so vexed that he fell sick for his sister Tamar, for she was a virgin. And Amnon thought it hard for him to do anything to her. But Amnon had a friend, whose name was Jonadab, the son of Shimeah, David's brother, so that Jonadab would be a cousin, would he be? Let's see, brother of, a cousin of his, the son of Shimeah, David's brother. I kind of highlighted that to kind of highlight that point. So he was a cousin. So you can kind of see it there. And Jonadab was a very subtle man, it says. And he said unto him, why art thou, being the king's son, lean from day to day? Wilt thou not tell me? And Amnon said unto him, I love Tamar, my brother Absalom's sister. So that would be his half-sister, because, they all had different mothers and all of David's sons. He had many wives. So, and Jonadab said unto him, lay thee down on thy bed, and make thyself sick. And when thy father cometh to see thee, say unto him, I pray thee, let my sister Tamar come, and give me meat, and dress the meat in my sight, that I may see it, and eat it at her hand. Of course, he had he wasn't hungry for food. He had other things on his mind, if you know what I mean, yeah. So Amnon lay down and made himself sick. And when the king was come to see him, Amnon said unto the king, I pray thee, let Tamar my sister come, and make me a couple of cakes in my seat, that I may eat at her hand. Then David sent home to Tamar, saying, go now to thy brother Amnon's house, and dress him meat. So I'm surprised David didn't see something doesn't seem right about this situation. Why does he want Tamar to come and personally feed him, but that would raise my suspicions a little bit, So Tamar went to her brother Amnon's house, and he was laid down. And she took flour and kneaded it, and made cakes in his sight, and did bake the cakes. And she took a pan, and poured them out before him, but he refused to eat. And Amnon said, have out all men from me. And they went out every man from him. And Amnon said unto Tamar, bring the meat into the chamber, that I may eat of thine hand. So here he is laying in his bedchamber, feigning to be sick, and but his plan was really to get his sister. This is not a good situation, you know. Verse 9 says, let me have to back up. Okay. And she took a pan and poured them out before him, but he refused to eat. And Amnon said, have out all men from me. So in other words, he got rid of everybody before he did his deed there, you know. And they went out, every man from him. So it was just Amnon now with his sister Tamar left. And Amnon said unto Tamar, bring the meat into the chamber, that I may eat of thine hand. And Tamar took the cakes which she had made, and brought them into the chamber to Amnon her brother. And when she had brought them unto him to eat, he took hold of her, and said unto her, come lie with me, my sister. Wow. This is a bad situation here. And she answered him, nay, my brother, do not force me, for no such thing ought to be done in Israel. Do not thou this follow me. So she did protest, you know. She did not go along with his evil deed there. And I, whither shall I cause my shame to go? And as for thee, thou shalt be as one of the fools in Israel. Now therefore I pray thee, speak unto the king, for he will not withhold me from thee. Howbeit he would not hearken unto her voice, but, being stronger than she, forced her and lay with her. Then Amnon hated her exceedingly. This was after the deed was done. And I'm not going to get into the details here. I think we know what happened here. So that the hatred wherewith he hated her was greater than the love wherewith he had loved her. And Amnon said unto her, arise, be gone. And she said unto him, there is no cause. This evil in sending me away is greater than the other that thou didst unto me. I'm going to highlight that. It's so nice weather out here. It feels like spring too. It has that spring feel to it. Highlighting my little Bible, marking it up. My little Bible here. Okay. So after he did his dirty deed, he pretty much sent her away. Just kind of coldly just threw her out, basically. It says, this evil in sending me away is greater than the other that thou didst unto me. But he would not hearken unto her. Then he called his servant that ministered unto him, and said, put now this woman out from me, and bolt the door after her. And she had a garment of divers colors upon her. For that with such robes were the king's daughters that were virgins apparelled. Then his servant brought her out, and bolted the door after her. And Tamar put ashes on her head, and rent her garment of divers colors that was on her, and laid her hand on her head, and went on crying. And Absalom her brother said unto her, hath Amnon thy brother been with thee? But hold now thy peace, my sister, he is thy brother. Regard not this thing. So Tamar remained desolate in her brother Absalom's house. But when King David heard of all these things, he was very wroth. And Absalom spake unto his brother Amnon neither good nor bad. For Absalom hated Amnon because he had forced his sister Tamar. And it came to pass after 2 full years that Absalom had sheep shearers in Baal Hazor, which is beside Ephraim. And Absalom invited all the king's sons. And Absalom came to the king and said, this was 2 years after that event took place. And Absalom came to the king and said, Behold now, thy servant hath sheep shearers. Let the king, I beseech thee, and his servants go with thy servant. And the king said to Absalom, Nay, my son, let us not all now go, lest we be chargeable unto thee. And he pressed him. Howbeit he will not go, but blessed him. Then said Absalom, If not, I pray thee, let my brother Amnon go with us. And the king said unto him, Why should he go with thee? But Absalom pressed him, that he let Amnon and all the king's sons go with him. So David's just like, wow, something's like funny about this. Why is he just asking for Amnon, Something don't seem right. I would think that David would have perceived that, Now Absalom had commanded his servants, saying, Mark ye now when Amnon's heart is merry with wine. And when I say unto you, Smite Amnon, then kill him. Fear not. Have not I commanded you? Be courageous and be valiant. So he planned on killing his brother Amnon for forcing his sister Tamar. So it was revenge, revenge. He had revenge in his heart. This was a revenge killing, And the servants of Absalom did unto Amnon as Absalom had commanded. Then all the king's sons arose, and every man gat him up upon his mule and fled. And it came to pass, while they were in the way, that tidings came to David, saying, Absalom hath slain all the king's sons, and there is not one of them left. Then the king arose and tare his garments, and lay on the earth. And all his servants stood by with their clothes rent. And Jonadab, here's this Jonadab guy again, this crafty Jonadab. And Jonadab, the son of Shimeah, David's brother, and I'm going to highlight that. So this would be the nephew of David here. There we go. Yeah, I highlight certain things that really stand out when I read my Bible. Answered and said, Let not my lord suppose that they have slain all the young men, the king's sons. For Amnon only is dead. For by the appointment of Absalom, this hath been determined from the day that he forced his sister Tamar. Now therefore let not my lord the king take the thing to his heart, to think that all the king's sons are dead. For Amnon only is dead. But Absalom fled, and the young man that kept the watch lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, there came much people by the way of the hill by the way of the hillside behind him. And Jonadab said unto the king, Behold, the king's sons come. As thy servant said, so it is. And it came to pass, as soon as he had made an end of speaking, that behold, the king's sons came, and lifted up their voice and wept. And the king also and all his servants wept very sore. But Absalom fled, and went to Talmai, the son of Ammihud, king of Geshur. And David mourned for his son every day. So Absalom fled, and went to Geshur, and was there 3 years. And the soul of King David longed to go forth unto Absalom, for he was comforted concerning Amnon, seeing he was dead. So we could see David's sin had a great consequence. This was after David, committed adultery with Bathsheba and had her husband killed in battle. And this was one of the consequences of David's sins here. So this was when Nathan the prophet confronted David after his sin. And we have to go back to chapter 12 here of 2 Samuel. It says this. And Nathan said to David, this was after his parable of the little ewe lamb. And Nathan said to David, thou art the man. Thus saith the Lord God of Israel, as I anointed thee king over Israel, and I delivered thee out of the hand of Saul, and I gave thee thy master's house, and thy master's wives into thy bosom, and gave thee the house of Israel and of Judah. And if that had been too little, I would moreover have given unto thee such and such things. Wherefore hast thou despised the commandment of the Lord, to do evil in his sight? Thou hast killed Uriah the Hittite with the sword, and hast taken his wife to be thy wife, and hast slain him with the sword of the children of Ammon. And it says, verse 10 now reads, now therefore the sword shall never depart from thine house, because thou hast despised me, and hast taken the wife of Uriah the Hittite to be thy wife. Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will raise up evil against thee out of thine own house, and I will take thy wives before thine eyes, and give them unto thy neighbor, and he shall lie with thy wives in the sight of this sun. For thou didst it secretly, but I will do this thing before all Israel and before the sun. So this is what the consequences of David's sin. And verse 13 says, and David said unto Nathan, I have sinned against the Lord. And Nathan said unto David, the Lord also hath put away thy sin. Thou shalt not die. Howbeit, because by this deed thou hast given great occasion to the enemies of the Lord to blaspheme, the child also that is born unto thee shall surely die. And verse 15 says, and Nathan departed unto his house, and the Lord struck the child that Uriah's wife bare unto David, and it was very sick. So it goes on here. But anyway, that point is that God would raise up evil against David out of his own house, and we see it happening here now with his son Amnon and forcing his sister Tamar, and then Absalom killing his brother Amnon for what he did to his sister. So we see the evils coming upon David now, the consequences of his sin. God forgave his adultery, forgave what he did to Uriah the Hittite, but David still had to face the consequences for his sin. So that's it for now, dear viewers. I will continue on later here. I read a little bit, then stop, think about what I'm reading, digest it, and then pick up the Bible again and read some more. It's such a nice day, being Friday here. So, March